All right, we are back, everybody. Episode 38, recap pod. I'm kind of mad that this is dropping on a Wednesday. Yes, it's Wednesday. Because I thought that both the duo games that we were going to get Monday night were going to be great games. No, they both sucked. They both sucked. Tough games for both of them. But I have a great recap pod for you. I have coach firing. I'm 2-0 on these coach firing calls. Billy Napier's gone. Happening again. We got good games to go through. Some teams lost and they are screwed for the playoffs. And then in the NFL, we had not a crazy slate of games. We had one very crazy game that is the last game. It's the Denver Broncos. I'll get to. I have a lot of thoughts on that. But yeah, let's get right into it. Billy Napier has been fired. I've called it 2 times in a row. I called James Franklin. I called Billy Napier. I called Billy Napier week 2. Okay? And then last week before the game, it seemed like the head officials at Florida had already made their decision. They already knew, win or loss, that he was going to get fired, which is honestly a crazy thing to have leaked out before you play an SEC team. And he won, too. He won the game. Now, Mississippi State's not a bad team. I've said it before. Mississippi State is a frisky team. So, doesn't really shock me. I'm going to fix my... I'm getting some comments about my lighting. I think the lighting is good, guys, if you're watching on YouTube. Mississippi State's a frisky team. And you put Florida to the test, but I think it was just... They were just done with Florida. I mean, Florida was just done with Billy Napier, which they should have been done with him, a while back, in my opinion. But this now brings up a point for a lot of teams that have fired coaches that this is potentially going to be the biggest coaching carousel we have ever seen in college football. Currently, the jobs we have open, just some high talented jobs. Penn State, Florida, Virginia Tech, UCLA, Arkansas. Those are the top ones off the rip right now. We could see a lot more open. Nebraska could open. Matt Rule could go to Penn State. Missouri could open. Florida, all these schools could go after Eli Drinkwitz. I don't think it's going to happen, but also I think there's a chance it happens at the same time too. I wouldn't count it out. And then are we going to see Mike Norvell get fired? Florida State came out yesterday and said that they have confidence in Mike Norvell, but I think that's just getting him a couple more weeks to see if he wins a game or two, because he's not been good. He's not been good ever since they didn't make the college football playoff that year. There's a Jordan Travis merchant maybe. So they could open up. I was on the LSU train that LSU is going to open up this season, but there's not going to be many openings. There's going to be too many openings for the amount of good coaches and high-level coaches that are out there. I'm forgetting about Auburn, too. Auburn is going to open up. I'm surprised it hasn't opened up yet. Hugh Freeze should have been fired this past weekend. That loss to Missouri was insane. I don't know how you let that happen. You have 2 ranked teams, 2 good teams in the SEC on the ropes 2 weeks in a row, and you cannot find a way to coach and close out that game. So that's on you, Hugh Freeze. And you are a quarterback whisperer here. Are you? I don't know. Because Jackson Arnold stinks. The guy isn't good. Looks like Brent Venables wasn't just going off on a limb, getting rid of Jackson Arnold. He's not a good quarterback. He's not what we thought he was coming out of recruiting. So I don't know how Hugh Freeze has a job, but there is a lot of there are going to be too many jobs open for the amount of high level and good coaches. I think teams are going to have to settle, which is going to put them in a really bad position. Or my friend pitched this idea to me the other day. Do you just go the interim route? Does Arkansas just go with the interim route for next year with Bobby Petrino? I don't know. Because one, Stanford is doing an interim right now for Frank Reich. That's another job. And they're getting a lot of money, so it's going to be a very interesting coaching cycle, and it's going to be one that's fun to see. Now, leading right into our games, I brought him up, a coach that I think is going to get fired, but not this year. It will be next year. LSU 31, I mean, Vanderbilt 31, LSU 24. Oof. It is a rough time in Baton Rouge, and it is a rough time for Brian Kelly. And it is basically LSU's done with Brian Kelly. The fans are done with him. The players, I don't know about the players, but every single fan, if you look on anywhere online, are sick and tired of Brian Kelly. There's no improvement each year and year after. He benefited from having a Heisman Trophy winner, and then you've fallen off and you haven't been able to produce since, and you have not had a good defense since you've been there. Now I came out this year and I've said that the defense is a lot better, and the defense was playing a lot better. They did not play a lot better in this game. Diego Pavia threw for 160 yards and one passing touchdown, and he also ran for 86 yards and two passing touchdowns as well. Cole Spence for Vanderbilt had 5 receptions for 56 yards and his first career touchdown, and he also was huge in a bunch of runs that Spencer Alexander had as well. This was just a tough moment for the LSU defense and the offense in general too. I mean, we know the offense has been inconsistent, but the LSU defense is what is supposed to be their bright spot on their team, and they did not play great this game. They did not. Now, Nussmeier on offense threw for 225 yards and 2 touchdowns, so something that's pretty common. That's what he's usually putting up stats like that. And Trades Green, the tight end / wide receiver, had 5 catches, 74 yards, and a touchdown. LSU was able to run the ball pretty well in this game. It's definitely their best showing of the season so far. They had 100 yards total on the ground, 59 by Caden Durham and 54 by Harlan Berry. But LSU couldn't convert in the end zone in times that they needed to. And look, you were even gifted times by Vanderbilt where Vanderbilt went for it at the end of the first half on their own, like 50, which was with a minute left, giving LSU the ball back. But LSU's defense couldn't get enough stops. And look, the LSU offense did play well. I mean, like I said, they put up points. They tried to match them as much as they could, but it was a rare sight to see from the LSU team, LSU defense this season, that their defense couldn't get a stop. Their defense it seemed like Diego Pavia was running all over the field. The guy, I hate to say it because I don't like him. He's annoying. But he is strongly going to make a case for Heisman maybe. If he can get Vanderbilt to the college football playoff, it's not crazy. It's not crazy. Like, this is a good team. It's shocking, but they're a really good team. I mean, it's a big moment for Vanderbilt because this is their best start since 1950, their first win over LSU since 1990, and 2 wins over ranked opponents in one season for the first time in school history. And this team's playing on another level, and it's Clark Lee. I mean, give credit to Clark Lee. He's done an incredible job building this Vanderbilt team. And as I'm saying, like, they can be a playoff team. Put it in your head now because it is not there's a very big chance that this happens. LSU, you gotta figure some things out. And unfortunately, I don't think they're going to get figured out the rest of the season. You already have 2 losses. You play A&M at home this week. A&M is on a tear. That is a game where historically LSU has been able to pull off an upset. If they're having a bad year, they'll always upset somebody at home at night in Death Valley, and this is a night game. So I wouldn't be shocked, but also it just seems like bad vibes around LSU right now, especially around the head coach. It seems like everyone is already just counting him out. Everyone's already done with him, and you got half of a season left, and you got to go into next year. Unless they fire him in the offseason. I thought it was a good move, but as I've thought about it, it's not, because who are you going to go get? You know, there's only, like I said, there's only a limited amount of coaches. But huge for Vanderbilt. Keep your eye on Vanderbilt, guys. Keep your eye on Vanderbilt. Next game, Georgia 45, Ole Miss 35. My highlight of this game is Gunnar Stockton solidified himself as a baller. Gunnar Stockton was awesome this game. He was a difference maker in this game. He was 26 of 31 passing for 289 yards and 4 touchdowns. He also ran the ball 10 times for 59 yards and had a rushing touchdown as well. 5 total touchdowns for Gunnar Stockton. He played out of his mind. When he can run the ball, he's known for running a lot, and he's been doing it a lot this season. But seeing him put up a passing game stat line like this is what I've been talking about. This is what I've been wanting from Gunnar Stockton, and we got it. We got it this week in the biggest game possible that he needed it. You did not deliver against Alabama. You have a red hot Ole Miss team coming in that is undefeated. You have to put him. You have to put a statement win. He played his ass off. Lawson Lucky, also the Georgia tight end, he had 3 touchdown catches on 5 receptions for 43 yards. He played great. And we are starting to see, this was a glimpse into Georgia the past couple of years. This is what we have been wanting them to be because what we were so used to in 2022 and 2023, or 2021, 2022, Georgia ran the ball for 221 yards on 49 carries. They played extremely well in the trenches. The offensive line played well. They allowed Gunnar Stockton. I think that's part of the reason why Gunnar Stockton was so well passing the ball, because they knew that Georgia could run the ball all day because they were dominating them on the line of scrimmage. They were dominating them in the run game. Nate Frazier was great in this game. Now, Ole Miss, on the other hand, actually, wait, I got another set. Georgia outgained Ole Miss 510 yards to 351. Georgia also had the ball for about 37 minutes and 39 seconds versus Ole Miss's 22 minutes and 21 seconds. This is what I'm talking about. This was a prime example of seeing old Georgia come back to life. This is a team that will suffocate you and just will not stop kicking your ass. And we saw this from Georgia on Saturday, and this is the Georgia that should scare everyone. That should scare everyone. If they can play like this in these big games when they need to, they can win the national championship. It keeps making me just keeps reinforcing that idea and the thought process that a lot of us have with the SEC, that it's a wide open league. It is. Anyone can beat anyone, but there are 2 teams at the top that are 1-1, and that is Georgia and that's Alabama. These 2 teams have solidified themselves right now. We're going to see it. It's going to be a rematch of these 2. We're going to see it. These 2 teams are great. They're playing great football. I'm going to get to Alabama at the end of this game, at the end of this recap. But Georgia impressed the hell out of me. I saw what I've been wanting to see out of Georgia for weeks, for years. I mean, for over a year. Last year, you never got to see that Georgia team, except for against Texas. Now you see it this game, and that was like yep, there's Georgia. If they can do that every single week, man, whoo, look out for Georgia. Now, Ole Miss, Trinidad Chambliss, he played good. He threw for 263 yards and a touchdown. He rushed 9 times for 42 yards and 2 touchdowns. But this was the real case of this for Ole Miss. This was their true first road test. The other road test they had was Kentucky, the second week of the season. That's not a road test, okay? Most of your games have been at home, and then, going into this game, you had a tough game against Washington State the week prior where you eked out a win in that game, So my prediction was right on this, and that I can't trust Ole Miss yet. I can't, because they played a legit team. Because as we're looking at LSU now and that win against LSU, I don't know if that win looks as good anymore, because LSU just doesn't look like the same team that we saw when they were going in to play that game. They don't look good, and that hurts Ole Miss's stock and their schedule as well too. So huge win here for Georgia. They're putting themselves back on the map. Ole Miss, you got 1 loss. You can definitely make yourself into the playoff. I think they definitely will. But I think they're going to have an early exit, because you're going to face a team like Georgia, or a team that's going to punch you in the face, and you're not going to be ready. Like Ole Miss is getting there, man. They're going to be a top team in the SEC, and a team that wins the SEC in a couple of years. If Lane Kiffin stays, if Lane Kiffin goes to Florida, that's going to be a different story. But if Lane Kiffin stays, I mean, he's built this program up to be an incredible program so far, and I think they're only just going to continue to go farther and farther up as long as he stays there. So huge win for Georgia. Bad loss for Ole Miss, but it's against a good team, and first loss of the season. You'll still make the playoffs. You'll be okay. Unless what happens is what you did last year. All right, this is a quick one, but it has implications. Arizona State 26, Texas Tech 22. Whoa. Arizona State. Now, Arizona State was the predicted to win the Big 12 at the beginning of the year, because they're bringing back the most talent, and people are saying the best quarterback in the Big 12 in Sam Leavitt. But all we've known about Texas Tech is they have been killing people. They have been beating the shit out of people. They have been playing great football on both sides of the ball. Texas Tech finally has a defense. Not in this game. Arizona State brought it to them. Sam Levitt, who came back from injury, threw for 319 yards and a passing touchdown. One of those passing touchdowns, no, the passing touchdown was to Tyson. The last second, the 34 seconds left, rushing touchdown was from Raleek Brown. Went up and scored that. And Texas Tech just seemed out of sync this entire game. And something that happened to Texas Tech in this game that never really happens was shocking is that they were outgained. Texas Tech hasn't really been outgained in a game this year, and it's a shocker. They were outgained 394 to 276, like almost by 200 yards. And that's a shocking thing to see, especially from an Arizona State team who's has a quarterback coming back from injury and an Arizona State team that hasn't been incredible this year. I'm going to say it on a side note as well. BYU is the top front runner in the Big 12 now. They've solidified themselves at that one spot, but the Big 12 is still very wide open. Now, part of this game where we could see that Texas Tech definitely struggled and was cause of them not having as many yards as before is Will Hammond started the backup who came in that Utah game instead of Ben Morton. He was hurt. He had a knee injury. Hammond had 167 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. He had 1 rushing touchdown as well. But Arizona State just looked better on every single facet of the football field here. I mean, on defense, they shut down the offense. On offense, they were able to play great against this defense for Texas Tech that has been so good this year. Now, Texas Tech did lose a star defensive tackle, interior lineman, one of their best interior linemen this week for the season. So that's a huge blow to them. And if we see the production that their defense has drop off from what we've seen in the past couple of weeks, that could be definitely a reason why. But I don't know. I was just shocked. I was shocked. I thought Texas Tech was going to easily win this game, even with the backup. But yeah, I mean, and they had it. Texas Tech had a walk in the park to get to the Big 12 championship undefeated and still make the playoffs. And look, you can still do that with 1 loss, but you make it a little bit harder on yourself now. Like you do have an easier schedule, but it's going to be a little bit. You can't play with your food anymore. You can't play with your food. You have to put up a good performance the rest of the season and win the rest of your game. So there's not a worry there. There's not a doubt for you. All right, next game. Notre Dame 34, USC 24. Jeremiah Love is a beast. 228 rushing yards and 1 touchdown, his career high in a game. The Notre Dame offense is playing at a high level. It is something that we haven't seen from Notre Dame in a while because it is in the past. It's always been Notre Dame's defense is incredible. Their offense is good, but now it's the other way around. Which the offense is incredible and the defense is okay. Like allowed 24 points against a USC team that scores a lot. It was crazy. It was crazy. They dominated on the run game. They had 306 yards total. It really set the tone here for the offense and allowed CJ Carr to not really have to do a lot. He did have one of the worst interceptions I've ever seen in the red zone, but he was 16 of 26 passing for only 136 yards and 1 passing touchdown. But like I said, he didn't have to do anything. He really didn't. And the one spot where the Notre Dame defense did come up big in this game and play really well was they held USC to 68 rushing yards. And they forced a ton of key turnovers, especially the one on the trick play that USC ran. I don't know what the hell that was, but I don't know why you ran it. You had momentum. You had momentum, and that basically killed all your momentum there and made it a 2-score game. I don't know why you did that. It was a dumb play call on Lincoln Riley's part. And looking now with USC, Jordan Maivia was 22 of 42 passing, 328 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Now, he is going to throw the hell out of the ball. It's what USC has always done. They are going to be a pass-heavy offense. But if they can run the ball, it makes their offense a lot more dangerous because the defense is playing for both sides of the ball, right? They are being prepared for the run and they're being prepared for the pass. And with USC, that hurts them if they're not able to run the ball. Jacoby Lane played great here. He had that big 59-yard touchdown pass from Mavia. That was great. But I mean, the story of this game is just that the dominance that the run game and the Notre Dame offense had. I mean, this is becoming a great rivalry game, and I really like it. But the 306 yards rushing on the day is tremendous from the Notre Dame offense. Now, with playoff implications, Notre Dame has just set themselves up. If you don't lose another game, you're in regardless. I've said it the past couple of weeks. Um, After they lost to A&M, things didn't look good, but there was a path, and they're still on that path. And don't lose another game, and you are in the college football playoff because it is going to happen, whether you like it or not. America, it's going to happen. USC, on the other hand, you're kind of fucked now. You are. Sorry for the language, mom and dad. You're in trouble there. You are because you're in the Big Ten now. You're not in the Pac-12. You don't get a bid because you're USC. You are in some trouble. You got to win out. You can't lose another game, and you got to get some good wins. And the teams that you lost to, you got to see them play some ball. So the eye test looks a little bit better. Looks a little bit better. All right, next game. Bama, last game. Bama 37, Tennessee 20. Alabama held Tennessee. I've talked about Alabama's defense for the past couple of weeks. They've been playing really well. Pierre for their defense, the linebacker, he's been playing great too. He had 3 sacks this game. But their defense held, which Tennessee is the nation's highest scoring offense, to 410 total yards, which is well below their average. 410 total yards being well below your average is crazy for an offensive stat. So, but does that have a little bit to look at what the teams Tennessee's been playing? Yes, for sure. They've been playing teams with bad defenses, except for Georgia. But even that game was a shootout. So huge for the Alabama defense here that a big test for them that they were able to hold them to well under the yards. But Tennessee still got 410 yards, but they won. They won the game. Ty Simpson, he's been playing great. He's continued to play great. He was 19 of 29 passing, 253 yards and 2 passing touchdowns, and still no interceptions. He's continuing to play great. A key turning point in this game was at the end of the half when Joey Aguilar threw a 99-yard pick-6 interception. It just flipped the entire momentum because it was a situation where it looked like Tennessee, if you score here, you're going to go in. I think you'd maybe be down 3 or down 1, and then you're down way more. And you flip some momentum, kills like the momentum that your team has going into half if you score that touchdown or if you even kick a field goal is all the way out the door. Like that's the last thing you can do in that situation. You cannot throw a 99-yard pick-6 because deflation of the momentum and your team spirit. Joey Aguilar was 28 of 44 passing for 266 yards and a passing touchdown and that 1 interception. Deshaun Bishop, their running back, he was great in the run game. He rushed for 123 total yards and had 2 passing touchdowns. Tennessee ran for 142 total yards. Alabama ran for 120. Alabama had 23 first downs and Tennessee had 27. So in first downs, they outgained them, but they still didn't win the game because of that 99-yard interception. It was the key turning point in the game. And it's what caused the game to look the way that it did. Like if you're watching this game, you could tell that they didn't have a chance. After that interception happened, and you're playing in Bryant-Denny, and that place is rocking. You're coming back out at half. All that momentum's gone. You don't have a chance. Tennessee, you are still alive in the playoffs for sure, 100%. This hurts your chances a little bit. I mean, you can't lose another game, especially because you're not going to make the SEC championship, so you're not going to have another game to win to, improve your position there in the playoffs. But you got to win out. You do. Bama, I said it this weekend. I'm a Bama hater, but unfortunately, it is looking like they're one of the top 3 best teams in the country. I put Bama at 3, Indiana at 2, Ohio State at 1, in my opinion right now. Bama looks unreal. They are on a heater. They are, Ty Simpson is clearly the best quarterback in the country. I don't think it is without a doubt. People trying to say Julian Sand. He plays on Ohio State. He's not really playing anybody yet, though, either. He's not really playing any tough games. Ty Simpson's playing tough games. Ty Simpson played Vanderbilt, Missouri, and Tennessee all in back-to-back-to-back weeks, and he played really good in all of these games. He's solidified himself as that guy, and he's the one taking this Alabama team to potentially the national championship here. And I think Alabama is going to win the SEC again. It's going to be their first time since, 2023? They're going to win it again. Just had a year off. All right. That is the college recap. It's going by pretty fast. I'm kind of flying through this. Phone fell. Phone fell. Sorry. Phone fell. Okay. Pulling it up. All right. NFL recap. We got 3 NFL games. First one is Eagles 28, Vikings 22. The story of this game was Jalen Hurts throwing the ball. He lit it up. He was 19 of 23 for 326 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he had a perfect passer rating, something we don't see often in the NFL. And surprise, it came from Jalen Hurts, the guy that everyone has been shitting on for how his passing is lately. The person who had a breakout game in this game as well was Devontae Smith. He had a career high 9 catches for 183 yards and 1 touchdown. And the long one was a 79-yard strike. I mean, Devontae Smith, I'm pissed because I didn't start Devontae in fantasy, and it's gonna mess me up. It's a problem. For Carson Wentz, he threw for 313 yards, but he was intercepted twice, and one of those was a very bad pick six where he just got bodied by Jalen Carter. If you're watching that game, you know the exact hit I'm talking about. The dude got smoked. It didn't look good. It didn't look good one bit. The major story for this game was just the inefficiency that the Vikings offense had. Bringing back players like Quinyon Mitchell and Jalen Carter really helped the defense of the Eagles and really is a key factor because they didn't play last week against the Giants, and it showed because they came out and they dominated them. The Vikings in red zone efficiency, they were just 1 for 6 inside the 20-yard line, inside the 20 on touchdowns. So the score makes the game look a lot closer than it was, but it really wasn't. I mean, the Eagles had control of this game for the entire time, honestly. Like it didn't seem like a sweat if you're an Eagles fan. But I mean, like I said, the story of this game is Jalen Hurts. He silences all the critics, and it seems when he is doubted the most about his passing game, he plays the best, and he plays his ass off, and he did in this game. I mean, 326 yards and 3 touchdowns, a perfect passer rating for Jalen Hurts. We haven't seen that in a while. Last time we saw that was the Super Bowl. So the man is a thrower. I mean, let's stop all the hate on him now. He can throw the ball really well, and he is a very efficient passer. So huge game for the Eagles. Jalen Hurts, you get yourself back on track. The Eagles, you get yourself back on track in general. The offensive play calling has obviously just been an issue for them, and they let it out this week. They let it all out, and they played a really good game. I mean, a perfect game, honestly, so far. So, great win for the Eagles. The Vikings, I don't know where you go from here. The quarterback situation is seeming pretty grim because it seems like J.J. McCarthy is healthy, but they're kind of hiding. Like they're saying he's not 100%, but he's getting there. But it's like, it was just a high ankle sprain. How is he out this long? Like, they're kind of benching him longer than I thought they'd be benching him. That's not weird to anybody else, right? I don't like it. I think this is a really tough situation for J.J. McCarthy. I think the Vikings might have figured out, J.J. McCarthy might not be as good as we thought he was, and we might have fucked up. That sucks. But Kevin O'Connell, great head coach, he'll figure it out. But yeah, something to keep an eye on for the Vikings for sure. Next game, holy shit, Colts 38, Chargers 21. The Colts are the best team in the NFL. The Colts are the best team in the NFL. They have the best offense in the NFL. Their defense kicks ass. Jonathan Taylor is also the best running back in the NFL, and it's Jonathan Taylor and Bijan Robinson. It's those two guys. Jonathan Taylor rushed for 3 touchdowns here, 23, 8, and 19 on 16 carries for only 94 yards. He's a guy who Big Cat said it on part of my take yesterday. He said he's reaching the level of play where you just hand the ball off to him and he'll go get it. It's not even a worry in the world. He's playing like Saquon Barkley was last year. Daniel Jones completed 23 passes and had 288 total yards. He had 2 touchdowns, and I mean, he got the offense rolling early. Like this, if watching this game, this Colts offense, just the Colts team, like this was a near perfect game for them. Like they played great. The defense played great through. I mean, you picked off Justin Herbert 2 times. Justin Herbert threw for 420 yards and 3 touchdowns. But a lot of those yards were in garbage time, trying to get your team back. Like they couldn't run the ball anymore because they knew that if they got the ball back and they wasted time and they got the ball back to the Colts were going to score instantly because the Colts were just on a heater in this game. Rookie tight end Oronde Gadsden, though, in this game for the Chargers. He's a guy you might want to watch for in fantasy now. He had a breakout game. He had 7 catches for 164 yards and a touchdown. Keenan Allen also played really good in this game. He had 11 catches for 119 yards and a score. Michael Pittman played great, too, for the Colts. He had a touchdown as well. I mean, the Colts, man, I'm shocked. It's Danny Dimes. Danny Dimes is the MVP right now. I don't think it's honestly, I'm gonna be honest opinion. Top 2 people in my MVP right now are Danny Dimes and Dak Prescott. Those are the guys that are playing the best football out of anyone right now in the league. And I don't think it's close. Mahomes is gonna get there. That Chiefs offense is picking up every single week. He's playing better and better every single week. I wouldn't be shocked. Another person who is playing great too is Matthew Stafford. And guys, I called it at the beginning of the year. The Rams are a Super Bowl dark horse. They're not even a dark horse anymore. They're a top five Super Bowl team. Okay. The Chargers, we got to have a conversation about the Chargers. And we overrated them. We did. We saw the teams they beat when they went 3-0, and then you had a dud of a game against the Giants, and everything has fallen apart since. Now, has a lot of the issues why you've fallen apart been the injuries to the offensive line with Slater and Joe Alt? Yeah, of course. And, Justin Herbert is fighting for his life back there, but he's not looking that great, and the Chargers don't look that great either. Now, they are decimated with injuries, like I've said, but the vibes aren't good for the Chargers. They aren't. It seems like the Chargers could potentially bottom out here, and we could see a total collapse of the Chargers. I'm just saying, don't be shocked, guys. Don't be shocked if we see it, because it could potentially happen here. You got to get healthy. You got to figure some things out on defense as well, especially in the secondary. I mean, your secondary got gashed here, and I mean, especially in the run game, too. I mean, it seemed like every time Jonathan Taylor touched the ball, he was getting 7 to 10 yards a carry. I don't know. Don't hold me to that stat. I don't know if that's accurate. Just going off of vibes. But they played a great game here, and the Colts are the best team in the NFL. They're without a doubt. I mean, they're the best team in the AFC statistically. I just think they're the best team in the NFL. They're incredible. They've played like they should be undefeated if it wasn't for A.D. Mitchell fumbling that ball out of the end zone against the Rams. They should be undefeated. They're at 6-1. They should be 7-0. If that doesn't happen, they win that game and they are undefeated. And they're without a doubt the best team in the NFL. They've overtaken the Buccaneers for me because the Buccaneers, you're decimated with injuries, and the injuries are shown to be a problem. But yeah, I mean, I just can't say enough about the Colts here. I think we all know after just watching the Colts, if you watch the Colts every week, they're better and better each week. And they impress us more and more each week. And I just think that's what they're going to continue to do. All right, last game. It's a game a lot of people are waiting for. Broncos 33, Giants 32. I have a confession to give out first. The Broncos started this game off one of the most pathetic 3 quarters I have ever seen in my entire life of watching the Broncos play. And I watched the Broncos play with Russell Wilson. I watched the Broncos play with Jeff Driscoll. I watched the Broncos play with Drew Lock for 3 years. I watched Joe Flacco on the Broncos. I watched Case Keenum on the Broncos. I've watched Kendall Hinton on the Broncos. I watched a lot of bad Broncos football. This was the worst half of Broncos football I have ever watched. I lived through the Nathaniel Hackett era, and this seemed worse. It did. It did. They played pathetic. The offensive play calling is the main problem. It is horrible. The blocking is horrible. You got to get some things fixed. But my confession is, after the tip drill touchdown from Theo Johnson with the Giants, it was 26-8, and I turned the game off. I'm just going to come out and say it now. I turned it off. Turn it off, and I put on a movie. I wanted to watch Skyfall. I want to watch some James Bond. Something just make me. I was angry, guys. My phone keeps falling. Damn it. I was angry. I was very angry. But I kept up with it on my phone. And I've been made fun of for it. It's a bad move by me. I'm owning it. It's a very bad move that I did, but it worked. But it's a very bad move. I understand. Hand up. I'm leading from the front. Bad move. I'm not going to hold that from you guys. I'm going to let you guys know what I did. It's not a good situation, not a good thing for me to do that, being a football guy and being so much of a Broncos fan. But I did it. I just couldn't take watching it. But then I put it back on at the end, and we got the win. But let's dive into it right now, okay? We got that out of the way. The Broncos scored 33 points in the fourth quarter to win this game. The Giants almost won this game, too, on their last drive of the game with help from that ref, Brad Allen. Brad Allen, you are spineless. You are scared. You shoved Justin Chouinard after the final play on the kick field goal, and then when Dre Greenlaw sees you do that, he's not too happy. He follows you off the field, and he's shit-talking you. You get him suspended. Why don't you show Roger in the NFL what happened in the clip before Dre Greenlaw followed you off the field? You shoved our linebacker. Brad Allen's, he's worse. He's worst referee in the league. Worst referee in the league. That defensive pass interference with Riley Moss, bull. The Jonathan Franklin Myers roughing the passer, I'll give them that. The defensive pass interference, what else is Riley Moss supposed to do? He turned around and defended it and everything. I hate Brad Allen. I hate him. Dre Greenlaw came back. He was a beast in this game. Now he's suspended against the Cowboys. That's not good against a great offense for the Cowboys. All right. Broncos are the first team in NFL history to score 33 points in the fourth quarter while being shut out the previous three. This snaps a streak where teams leading by 18-plus points with fewer than 6 minutes remaining had won 1,602 consecutive games. 1,602 consecutive games. And the Broncos broke that streak, scoring 33 points in the fourth quarter. Bo Nix had 279 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and 2 rushing touchdowns. Run the ball with Bo more, Sean Payton. Let him throw the ball down the field. Stop having him do these swing passes. No one's blocking. Our receivers can't block, so throw the ball down the field. It works. Sorry, I'm getting loud there. The Giants played great, though. I mean, the Giants played a near-perfect game, except for the 2 missed PATs from the kicker, which that guy, I mean, all-time bad week for that guy. I mean, it's not good. Not good for him. I don't even know his name. Jackson Dart played great. Cam Scatterby played great. Their whole offensive approach was great, and they were attacking the Broncos' defense in every single way that you should. And their defense, too, was playing great as well. Their front four is some of the best front four in all of NFL. It's right there with the Broncos, with Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Abdul Carter. Those guys play incredible. So that was no shocker to me that they were going to play great. They continue to play great. The Giants are a really good team. They just collapsed. They did. I think Brian Dable got a little bit conservative in the fourth quarter with running the ball. And then he took a couple passes where, incomplete, and then the clock stops, and you're giving the Broncos more time there. Jackson Dart had 283 passing yards and multiple passing touchdowns. He did throw a crucial interception to Justin Chouinard. Basically flipped the game, honestly. It gave the Broncos a little bit of life and was able to get them, get everybody into it and score. The touchdowns he threw for 3, and he rushed for the 1. He became the first Giants rookie quarterback to do 3 passing touchdowns and 1+ rushing touchdowns since 1948. So Jackson Dart is making history, and he's playing incredible every single week. This Giants team is good, and they're a team that I think is going to make a run to be a wild card team at the end of the season. Now, let me get into the Broncos. This was Demaryius Thomas Day. It was an awesome day, honoring Super Bowl 50. Brought back all the nostalgia and the vibes to me. I mean, what an incredible team. Best defense in the entire NFL history. Um, they played awesome, and honoring DT. They didn't play. Why am I saying they didn't play? They're just awesome. Honoring DT was awesome. He gets in the Broncos Ring of Fame, and there was some look. I don't care what your religious beliefs are, but Demaryius Thomas was on that field for the Broncos. The Broncos scored 33 points in the fourth quarter to win this game. The Broncos started the fourth quarter drive, the last drive of the game to go and kick a field goal to win it with 33 seconds on the clock. And Demaryius Thomas died when he was 33 years old. Demaryius Thomas was on that field tonight and helped the Broncos to win. There were just good vibes in the fourth quarter. Let Bo run the ball, Sean Payton. Let Bo run the ball. Because you pigeonhole this offense. You pigeonhole, I don't even know if I'm using pigeonhole in the right context there, but I'm just going to keep saying it. You get him in a tough situation where he does not feel comfortable in the pocket. This offense was not feeling comfortable. Stop the swing passes. Stop the screens. It's not working. Establish the run. Throw the short passes like Bo had been doing the past couple of weeks to get himself in a rhythm in the game, and then he gets hot and he gets going. This is 3 games in a row where the Broncos offense in the first 3 quarters of the game has been stagnant. They have sucked. And a lot of it, most of it, is the play calling. The play calling needs to fix. Sean Payton needs to get his head out of his ass and know what he needs to do to get this offense going. I hope that watching the tape of this game in the fourth quarter shows, man, when I, throw the short and intermediate passes, run a little RPO, my team, my offense is playing a lot better. Not, hey, let's run some swing passes to Marvin Mims and hope our guys are going to block. No one's blocking. The blocking isn't helpful. So get the ball out of Bo's hands quick and get it down the field. You have playmakers down the field. Now there are catches that need to be caught as well. There's a lot of drops over the field. And the offensive line blocking needs to be a lot better. It's not all on Sean, but it's a lot of the play calling. And the people that are shitting on Bo Nix are pissing me off, because if you watch Bo Nix in the past couple of games, the Broncos' performances on offense are not on him. He is doing the things he needs to do. Is he missing a couple throws? Yes, he is. But when the time comes to make a play and win a game, he's there and he knows how to do it. Sean Payton is taking that ability away from him early in the game and throughout the entire game. He's limiting him, and that's not what you need to do. Bo Nix showed that he can run the ball, and he's effective when he's running the ball. Keep letting him run the ball. Keep letting him do it, and this is a Super Bowl caliber team. If you continue to play bad in the first 3 quarters of the game, like you have in the past 3 games, you are going to get punched in the mouth and play against a team like potentially the Dallas Cowboys coming up this week, who have such a good offense. You're not going to be allowed to get back into this game. Your defense is very good. The defense is incredible. It's been playing at the top of the league. It is the best defense in the league. But they can only do so much. They can only keep you in the game for so long. You have to have consistency within the offensive play calling. You have to have consistency with productions on the offense, and it starts with the play calling and the execution. Make it just simple, man. Let's stop throwing passes and run on the perimeter. Let's stop running on the outside with these swing passes. Stop it. It's the worst thing. The boos are warranted in that situation when you keep doing it, and it seems like you're not learning from the mistakes and the production that we can see the offense has when you're throwing the ball downfield. But a great win. Awesome win. I'm very happy. It was a great win. Sorry I went off on that tangent there, but it's needed. It's needed because I'm frustrated with this team and the way we play and how it always is a fourth quarter comeback. We need to play better because the first 3 quarters of football was embarrassing, and it's not good. And we can tell where the disconnects are. I think the players know too. You got to just pick it up in these situations. And if you can, this is a Super Bowl winning team. Like that is something from the jump. This is a Super Bowl winning team. They can win games convincingly if you don't mess around like you have been. Stop playing with your food, man. Stop playing with your food and just get to work and kick ass, okay? But great win. I mean, it was incredible. I mean, 33 points in the fourth quarter is something we've never seen before, and I am I'm happy, but yeah, I'm happy but upset at the same time because I know this team, if they put together a complete game, um, if they do what you did in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter, the entire game, you are a tremendous team. I don't know why it takes us to get to the fourth quarter to do that every single time. Let's get past it. Let's get past it. But huge win for the Broncos. Giants, you will be okay. You just need to get Graham Gano back. You have a stud at quarterback. You have a stud at running back. You have a stud defense. You're going to be okay, and I think you're going to fit yourself in there for the wild card position. Broncos, awesome win. Awesome win. Great vibes on that win. Everyone's excited. Just fix some things, man. You got to fix these things, or it's going to become a bigger problem. And you got a real test again this week with the Cowboys. That is a very good team. All right. Went a little bit longer than I thought we were going to go for this one. I appreciate everybody listening. Sorry about the rant there for the Broncos, but you knew it was coming. Yeah, I appreciate everybody listening. This has been a great episode. I will be recording the preview episode tomorrow, Wednesday, and that will be dropping Thursday. So I appreciate everybody listening. And as always, enjoy the football.